Hello everybody, this is SDZ Gamer and welcome to another episode of Dai Gyakuten Saiban. We are heading into the first day of the trial. The only day of the trial, excuse me. It's a very long trial, it just only lasts for a day apparently, so we're gonna get on to that right now. Did I pick the right file? We left off at it to be continued as we're at the startup menu. We had said goodnight to Susato. That morning, when I opened my eyes, Susato-san had already departed. Outside my window was a torrential downpour that obscured everything. And that's how that unforgettable long day began. It's 4:17, April 17th, 9:32 a.m. in the morning at Old Bailey, Defendant's Lobby. Good morning, Gina-san. I'll definitely prove your innocence in today's trial, okay? So, where's that girl? Eh? That kimono girl who's always with you. Susato, was it? I don't really care, but... Yeah, sure you don't. Susato-san actually departed early this morning. By the time I woke up this morning, she was already gone. And you're alright with that. Maybe you should have just brushed me aside to go see her off? It's fine. It's not as if I'll never see her again. Don't say it like that, Naruhodō! But...
Good morning, everyone! Are you doing alright, Jeannie? Did you sleep alright?
Oh, wait, what? Oh, I skipped the line! Sorry, my bad! Iris shows up at some point and I skipped over it, but anyway. On the other hand, your trial is today only. Just this one time. My bad.
Good morning, everyone!
Oh, she brought the cat.
Are you doing alright, Jeannie? Did you sleep alright?
Oh. Iris! Why are you...
You see, you're my friend, and you're in a bit of a pickle, so... I gathered up Wakahai and came to support you.
What a friend.
Wakahai!
That ratty cat. He just ran off without so much as a backward glance at his friend. Oh well, we can let her look for her up for a bit.
Come to think of it, I bought one of the papers that they were selling outside. Let's see. There's some good news and some bad news. What do you want first, Naruhodō-kun? Jeannie?
Then I'd like to start with the bad news. If you got a choice, isn't it better to have a good news first?
I guess this is a matter of personality, huh?
Could you just leave it at that?
Let's see. Okay then, let's start with the bad news. The paper says that this monumental downpour is causing trouble for carriages all throughout the city.
Eh? I wasn't expecting the bad news to be the weather report.
I was just worried that it might cause a delay for Susato-chan's train to Dover.
That's true. So, what's the good news?
See, the downpour is supposed to clear completely by this afternoon. So that means the train should arrive in Dover Harbor on time. So, pretty good news, huh?
Personally, I think it's pretty whatever news. That was a lot more normal news than I expected. Same!
And, look! There's a big, long article on today's trial. Pickpocket girl slaughters upstanding pawn shop owner, it says.
Well, that's how society is. Gina-san's hanging her head.
So, it's your job to totally overturn this headline in today's trial, okay, Naruhodō-kun? Then, tomorrow's headline will be, precisely, Upstanding Pickpocket Girl Saves World. What do you think, Naruhodō-kun?
Yeah, I hope you're right.
Of course I am. So, How was my Susato-chan in person just now? Did I sound like her? Did I sound like her?
How do I reply to that? Today's paper, a copy of this morning's paper purchased by Iris-chan. There's a prominent article about Gina-san's trial in it.
Well, I look forward to working with you today, Naruhodō-kun.
Eh? Aw, Assistant Iris, let's go.
I don't know about legal things like Susato-chan, but it'll be pretty encouraging to have me beside you, cheering you on, right?
That dangerous thing is actually making me feel pretty nervous, but thanks. I look forward to working with you today too, Iris-chan. Come to think of it, Iris.
What is it, Genie?
How's Holmes doing? He had surgery yesterday, right? Oh, she got serious.
Yeah, the surgery went well. But it seems that he's still sleeping.
Ooh. I don't know if you heard that, but there's thunder in the background. There's a storm slowly passing through, I think. Eh?
I asked my detective friend to send me a telegram the moment he wakes up.
She means Detective Gregson. I'm sure she'll be the first person he tells. I see. Neither Susato-san or Holmes-san are here. Today really will be up to me to prove Gina-san's innocence. Defendant and defense! It's time for the trial to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
It's time, huh?
Well, shall we go then? Gina-san? Iris-chan?
Yeah.
Gina-san. She puts up a strong front, but she's desperately battling her nerves and fear. I'll believe in her until the very last moment, and definitely prove her innocence. Because that's the expectation he left me. We're gonna make you proud, Asogi. Woo! We got your spirit onto my hips. Hip? That's just one sword. Same day, at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Old Bailey, the full court. I hope I can get through this and the power doesn't just decide to crash in the middle of it, because probably then after that I'll just take a break and wait for the storm to pass to continue.
Now then, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I declare court to be in session. We will now begin the trial of Gina Lestrade. I now ask the prosecution and defense. Are you prepared to make your cases?
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Those wondering eyes.
Lord Von Zietz.
Your Honor.
How long was it that you stopped appearing in court?
It was 5 years ago.
And now, continuing from the trial 2 months ago, you took up your place at the prosecutor's bench once more. Have you come to some resolution in your heart? Additionally, before you vanished from the courtroom 5 years ago, you accepted only cases involving businesses, politics, or nobles, ones with major impacts on society.
Is that true?
For you to appear in a trial involving a simple case of robbery and murder like this one. To be honest, I can't help finding it a bit unexpected.
There are two things in this world that I cannot forgive. One are the villains, who wield their financial resources like a weapon while fooling the world by posing as upstanding citizens.
That's like Kazi Manga Doll, who you defended 2 months ago.
I could have figured it out without you explaining it to me. Kazni Mangodo, huh? If I'd known what sort of guy he really was. On the other, the one I find utterly reprehensible is those who approach others with innocent expressions and at the last moment betray everyone. They are an Asian people who came from a certain small eastern island nation, the Japanese. What?
That's you yourself, Naruhodō-kun.
That's pretty obvious even without your explanation. What do you mean, betray everyone? Prosecutor Von Zeke's intensely hateful gaze has been aimed at us Japanese?
In any case, the court welcomes the return of the prosecutor that London's villains fearfully referred to as the Grim Reaper.
Your consideration is appreciated.
And to our 6 jurors, endowed with common sense and chosen from among the Imperial City citizens. Are you all prepared for your role in the trial?
As a former soldier of Great Britain, I swear to render a fair verdict.
Hi, Garrett. I guess you're back.
Clean dishes, a clean table, and a clean master. That is all I require.
So is the maid.
In the new world that we will soon be living in, we must take in everything in 3 dimensions.
For me to forget such a thing would be unthinkable. But surely I didn't actually forget already.
Okay, Doctor.
The woman of the future will go forward with a progressive mindset and a beep, beep, beep.
I came London for sightseeing. I go next to see Crystal Tower.
What? What? Isn't that like... What is with this set of jurors? That's Dimitri, isn't it? Or like, what is Dimitri Demoglaski or something?
What's wrong, Naruhodō-kun?
It's just... How shall I put this? I can't help thinking that I feel like I've seen some of these people before.
Oh, that's quite a coincidence, considering jurors are selected randomly from among London's 6 million citizens.
So I'm told. To be honest, I'm having a really hard time believing that.
Very well. Now then, Lord Von Zeeks, please share with the court the facts of the case.
As you wish. Allow me to begin by addressing the jury by stating the following. There has never been a more simple and obvious murder than the one in this case. The victim was the pawn shop owner, Hatch. He was shot in the back and died immediately. Here is a photo showing the state of the crime scene. As you can see, we can confirm that there is a single bullet hole in his back. The victim's death was caused by a bullet that pierced his heart. That's what we can conclude. Here are the results of the inspection conducted by the yard's coroner. The bullet entered the corpse's back at a slight upward slant. So, what does that mean? In other words, we can assume that the victim was shot by someone shorter than him. Yes, someone like this defendant. This is the autopsy report. I ask that it be accepted along with the photo.
Understood. The court accepts these into evidence.
Autopsy report. A record created by the yard's coroner. Victim was shot in the back with a single bullet and died instantly. No other injuries are visible. Crime scene photo. A photo showing the victim who was killed in his storeroom. A single bullet hole is visible in his back. Now, allow me to direct your attention next to this overhead map of the crime scene. The murder occurred in the storeroom of the pawn shop where the pawn items are held. There are no windows on the scene, and only one door which was locked. And in that inaccessible crime scene were just 2 people. The victim, Mr. Hatch, and naturally the defendant. Incidentally, when the murder was discovered, the defendant was gripping the murder weapon, this pistol in her hand.
What's going on here?
The answer's already obvious. For starters, that filthy girl's a pickpocket, right?
Yeah, one of the large group of children from the East End. I knew it.
I figured one of them would do something like this one day. What are those jurors doing? Hurry up and make a decision. She's a pickpocket, so she must be the killer. I can't allow such a biased decision. Calm down, Dark Exchange Student. Naturally, that is not all that the prosecution intends to present. Fortunately, in his murder, there was a decisive eyewitness at the scene of the crime.
What?
If you listen to their testimony, everything should become clear. As to whether this person is simply an unfortunate pickpocket girl.
For the time being, please submit the items you just presented. The court will add them to the evidence.
As you wish. Overhead map of the crime scene. An overhead map of the pawn shop where the murder occurred. The layout of the inside of the shop as well as the back storeroom are recorded on it. Hatch's pistol, owned by the victim, Mr. Hatch. Gina-san was found unconscious while holding it. It shows signs of having been fired once. This is bad.
Suddenly, the air feels heavy, Naruhodō-kun.
I don't think that's just your imagination. Oh shit, the cape's already off! Whoa! We haven't even started the trial yet! Now then, let us begin. Escort in the two people who witnessed this loathsome crime on the night of the murder. Oh no! Wait, what? Hi, Gregson! Witness, state your names and occupations.
Name Templar. My occupation is villain.
Tell the Templar. My occupation is the same as the bloke on my right.
Tobias Gregson. I'm detective of Scotland Yard.
Yes, we're known as... the Three Templar Brothers.
3? What are you looking at me for? Don't lump me in with yourselves!
Don't be so cold. After all, we...
fell in with London's criminal society in order to search for a strange elder brother, didn't we?
What?
And do you not bear a certain resemblance to our older brother?
That's why. Ever since we met you that night,
We decided to begin referring to you in our hearts as...
Big Brother Uze.
What are these two? I'm begging you, stop talking. I guess the third brother's name is Uze Templar.
Now then, Detective Uze Gregson... Uze Gregson.
Begging your pardon, Your Honor, but it's Tobias.
Either way, what are you, a detective, doing up there with those two?
These men are suspects that have already been arrested by the Yard.
Suspects? All three of them?
Poor Gregson. Please, I wish you wouldn't group me with these two. 2 nights ago, these men illegally entered the shop in question with the intention of committing theft. And, in that shop, they happened to encounter a frightening incident.
What? You can't mean...
Indeed, the pawn shop owner, Mr. Hatch's murder.
Order! Order!
These men have been charged with breaking and entering as well as attempted robbery, and will be tried for those crimes another day in a separate trial.
I'd like special permission to have them act as witnesses. I understand the situation. The court grants the prosecution's request.
Okay, but they're criminals. Are they gonna, like, talk the truth? Now then, Templar brothers, you will testify about what you witnessed at the scene of the crime on the night of the murder.
As you wish.
Templar, represent!
Quit looking at me.
Oh, poor Gregson. Break in on the night of the murder.
That night, we were walking down Baker Street when we noticed that the door to the pawn shop was open.
We entered the shop as if beckoned by something.
Then we heard it, on the other side of the door at the back. A single gunshot rang out.
We instinctively tried to open the door, but it was locked from the inside.
Without doing anything else, without even nicking anything, we left the pawn shop quietly.
That seems too clean for these criminals.
What a terrifying coincidence. To think that just these villains broke in, and an even worse crime was in progress.
These men's testimony is corroborated by the state of the crime scene. The door leading to the crime scene, the storeroom, was locked from the inside, and there was no one but the victim and the defendant in that room.
The circumstances do indeed sound incredibly straightforward. Well then, defense, please begin your cross-examination.
Are you okay, Naruhodō?
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's wrong, Naruhodō-kun?
It's just... those lies were so blatant that I couldn't help being taken aback for a moment. I know, not just that, I can actually see that their testimony was just one huge lie. Oh boy, here we go. My feet are falling asleep. Alright, let's press on things. The door was open. About what time was that?
It was about 1 in the morning. What do you reckon, Tully?
Yes, I'd agree. What do you reckon, Uze?
How would I know? If it was 1 a.m., then naturally the pawn shop would have already been closed.
He's right. It was pitch black in that shop. That's what I reckon.
Hold on. As I recall, there was a little light in there. What do you reckon, Uze?
Look, I'm begging you, quit trying to pretend like I'm one of you.
It's true, there was a small light lit in the Hatch-san's shop. It was after seeing that we decided to head over there. Then, when these men broke into the shop, the defendant, Gina Lestrade, was already pointing the gun at the victim. Please, don't make wild assumptions. Either way, it doesn't change the outcome. But in any case, upon noticing that the door to the shop was open, you two stepped onto the stage upon which the crime was unfolding. Is that what you're telling us? Yes?
Oh, sure.
It sure is.
Fuck me! I'm so used to reading script lines. To be fair, this is like the third or second time I've been through this, reading through the lines for people, so I'm used to actually reading the lines for these two characters. What do you mean?
Was it a sign from God, or merely a trick of fate?
Anyway, it was the nature of something. That's what we reckon.
Please don't drag God into the explanation for your thieving impulses.
Nah, there's no way that was just an impulse.
Right. I am pretty certain this is what we were thinking at the time.
Beyond that door, perhaps?
Our strange brother Uzay awaits us.
What the hell is with these testimonies?
That threw that claim out pretty shamelessly, huh?
Well, in the end, we were able to meet this bloke who's just like Chaliandra brother.
Would you just leave me alone already?
I guess the supervising detective has it pretty rough sometimes, huh? That animation. A single shot. You're sure about that?
Yeah, just the one. That's what I reckon.
I agree. What about you, Uzay?
The pistol belonged to the victim himself. Mr. Hatch always kept it on his desk, see?
Yeah, you're right. I remember that pretty vividly. There wasn't a single bullet left in that pistol.
I remember Mr. Hatch always saying that he only kept one bullet in there. You remember that too, right?
Yeah, he definitely said that.
In other words, the pistol only fired one round, and there can be no mistaking that, correct?
Yes, there can be no mistake. And that weapon was found in the defendant's hand at the scene of the crime. This isn't good. You mean the door that led to the crime scene, the storage room? It's obvious when viewing the overhead map. Aside from the entrance, there is but one door in the shop. There can be no doubt it was the storage room.
At the time, the only light in the shop was coming from a small lamp, making it awful hard to see, but...
That door was hidden in the shadow of a half-closed curtain.
That's true. I think the door was hidden behind that curtain. We saw it too. By the way, what made you attempt to open that door? I would think normal thieves would make a run for it the instant they heard a gunshot.
Well, what do you reckon, bro?
Well, we weren't normal. That's about all I can come up with.
What? When people hear gunshots or screams, they typically react in one of two ways. Either they begin to tremble and flee, or they gather their courage and investigate the situation. You, Dark Exchange student, do the former, and these men before you do the latter. That is all. Ouch! I've been reduced to a regular old coward. Oh no!
In any case, the door leading to the crime scene was locked and they were unable to open it. What did you do then?
Without doing anything else, without even nicking anything.
See, there was quite the commotion going on when we came in, yeah?
Forget the stealing anything. We didn't have the time to take our hands out of our pockets.
You left the pawn shop quietly?
We're incredibly peaceful villains who hate violence, see?
We were just taking a nice stroll around the city with our hands in our pockets, see?
You got a lot of nerve saying that.
What?
When you two fled that shop, did you not meet someone on your way out?
Ah.
And you proceeded to open fire on that person.
Ugh.
What? Open fire?
You're...
Are you the one we ran into on our way out?
In the flesh.
Why didn't you?
Say so sooner!
That night, you two were carrying guns and, as you were making your getaway, you shot a certain famous detective who rushed onto the scene. The Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Holmes was shot by these two. Now that he mentions this, I did hear a rumor that he was taken to the hospital yesterday.
How horrible. Our beloved Master Holmes. That's right. These men were apprehended by the police shortly after the discovery of murder. It seems that the officer patrolling the area couldn't have missed such suspicious behavior. And when these men were searched, it's true. A pistol was found in one of their pockets. And that pistol showed signs of having been fired once. Your Honor, this is the pistol that these men were carrying.
Indeed, there appears to be gunpowder residue around the barrel. Very well, the court accepts this into evidence.
The Templar's pistol, the pistol found in the Templar brothers' possession when they were arrested, shows signs of having been fired once. Stop this very soon once this little debate happens. Japanese boy. Yes. The prosecution requests that you present evidence. What? It's true that the pistol found in these men's possession shows signs of having been fired once. Present some evidence that that bullet was fired at the scene of the crime. There's no need for proof. After all, I was also present at the scene of the crime. Unfortunately, however, the rest of us were not. So long as you have no proof of that reckless statement you just made, it's not but mere conjecture. Proof that these witnesses opened fire at the scene of the crime, huh?
Now then, the court would like the defense to present evidence. Evidence that indicates that these men opened fire at the pawn shop that night.
We'll present that evidence in the next video because we are out of time now, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for watching and please look forward to the next part of DGS 1, Case 5.